Good morning, evening, and whatever again. Thanks for joining us. We'll continue with our little series on boosting our autoimmune system. But that's the center of our whole health, and it keeps everything else healthy. So essentially, we're boosting everything. And in the yogic methods of healing, you're not healing one thing, you heal the whole body. It's all interconnected, cannot be separated. Even in the world of the chakras, they're seen as different energy forces, but they're all interconnected as one energy field. So we strengthen that also at the energetic level. The energy that we have that is being generated around us by our life force is also a protection from invaders from the outside world, including bacteria and viruses. So an energetic technique that is a fundamental part of what would be called Laya Yoga is to connect with the breath, and we'll do this with several breaths. As we are focused on feeling the breath, we can imagine that the breath is bringing in oxygen, bringing in prana, and if you're looking at quantum physics, we're swimming in an ocean of electromagnetic energy. So at the same time, we're drawing in that energy and feeling ourselves empowered. That's the inhalation. On the out breath, you take that energy and you can wrap it around yourself like a blanket of energy. This is an advanced form of yoga number 8 called Laya Yoga, but it's dealing directly with energy. And in quantum physics, they have established that energy follows the directions of consciousness. So by paying attention to this, we make it happen. So let's just begin with several deep breaths to whatever capacity you can. Make it as deep as possible. On the in-breath, start by just feeling yourself breathe. See how that's working today. A couple more times and see if you're feeling that you're doing the 3 parts of the breath, abdominal, mid, and upper. Just to check. Don't judge yourself around it. Just feel how it's working. Now, as you're feeling the air flow in your nostrils, up through your head, the prana going to your brain, air, bringing the oxygen down to your lungs, feel at the same time that there's an inflow of energy that's coming in, essentially from all directions, but coming in from the sun, whatever angle it's at, all the stars, they're all radiating this electromagnetic energy towards us. So we're connecting with this, pulling it in. On the exhalation, I'm wrapping it around, creating like a vortex around me. It can even become like an egg shape. So in breath and out breath. Feel it, imagine it if you need to, and imagine it until you can feel it. The imagination part is in your mind. The feeling part is down, around, and all around your body. Both are required. See if you can keep your concentration with awareness, noticing, seeing, and feeling this. No mental distractions. A couple more breaths. That's good. Relax your breath. These techniques working directly with energy work very well when we begin connecting them with the breath. In the advanced phases of yoga, these techniques are used to recharge yourself, all of your chakras, just like you recharge your phone every day, your mobile, whatever you're using. This is how we recharge the body. So let's lean forward, our hands come out to the front. Now focus on your belly and just feel if you can make your belly bulge out towards your thighs with the inhalation, like your belly is a balloon. When you exhale, let go of the balloon, the air comes out, squeeze in the abdominal muscles, diaphragm goes way up inside, and then go the other way, in breath. Feel your belly pushing out, maybe touching your thighs. This is called the rabbit pose.
It's perfect for Easter.
We'll hop around looking for eggs after class. Feel what you're doing. If you're noticing, you might also feel that the air is flowing in and out of your nose. More refined attention, you'll feel that the air coming in is a little bit cooler than the air coming out. Lots of details to observe. Now let's see if we can. If you can't do this, don't worry about it. We're going to slide our hands forward and bend the elbows so the elbows come down in front of the knees. Now your belly is definitely pushing more against your thighs. Continue with the breath and feel the pressure that's required on the in-breath. You have to push down against your thighs. See if you can feel it without wandering away with the mind for 3 more breaths. Okay, let's come back up, straightening the arms, sliding the hands in, and we come all the way to the seated position. Now place hand on the belly, and we just feel how much movement we have without any pressure or nothing against it. Inhale, exhale. Side view of what I'm doing. Just abdominal breath, not the others. You're doing this forcefully enough with yourself that you can hear yourself breathe. You can hear the air flowing through the nostrils, and if there's people around you, they can hear you as well. Keep it going 3 more times. Feel what you're doing. This is directing more flow and movement down to the lower 2 chakras, Muladhara and Swadhisthana. And it brings a lot of movement down here, circulation down through all the digestive organs, sexual organs, onto the colon, and helps circulation through the legs as well. So it's the base and the ground of our strength and power, first chakra in the body. Then we're going to rise up into the midsection. This is what we worked on previously to enhance the autoimmune system more directly and specifically. Now feel that your ribs are going out to the sides. Feel what you're doing. Expansion, contraction. Now come to the center of where the expansion is. Anahata chakra, the fourth. From there, the feeling of the power of Anahata is repulsion, which creates expansion. So it's pushing everything outwards and away, including all the air molecules that always do that, called the air element. Air molecules push themselves apart to fill whatever space, like in a balloon. Feel it and notice the sensation. The trigger to breathe comes directly from here. See if we can tap into that feeling. In the mind-body connection, observe if any thoughts come up around the condition, the efficiency of your own autoimmune system. Do any doubts and fears come up around, can you ward off, fight off a virus? This is where it comes from, the ability to do that. That same expansive force moves outward. It repels everything out of you that does not belong in you. And then you've got all these other kinds of cells and processes that help that to happen. Essentially, it's triggered from here by having enough of this energy. So let's take a few more breaths in this section. Center of the heart happens to be where the thymus gland is connected, located, and activated from, with breath, with heartbeat. Relax that. Two psychological attributes that help to trigger the autoimmune system are joy and confidence. The power to do, the ability are enhanced just by being in touch with these feelings. So do whatever you have to create these feelings. Do something you enjoy. Allow yourself to do it. And after this practice, feel confident about your health because you've just done something about it to create stronger health. Now we're doing tiger pose, Viagra, bending downwards, in-breath. We're exhaling as we arch the spine up. As we're arching the spine up, it's restricting and compressing the chest at the front end, squeezing the air out of the lungs. See if you can feel in this position and movement the expansion and contraction. Slowly, one part at a time, one movement at a time. Paying attention is the key to activation. That is a rule in quantum physics. And if it is true, then do not pay attention to a virus. Give your attention instead to the thymus gland, your ability to create an antibody. We're going to change this from the flat back position. Some people call this tabletop. We're going to bend the table over to the sides. Your feet go with it. As your feet go to the side, feel your pelvis, your sacrum, hips, everything is being pulled over to that side, and you are wagging your tail over to that side. All of this exhaling. Come back into center, take a breath. As deep as you can, all parts. Bend, exhale to the other side, feet way over, legs are pulling the whole hip area. Back to center, in breath and out breath. Let's do this for a few minutes. Amazingly beneficial for all the internal organs. You must recognize that they all work together and they cooperate for your overall health and well-being. So I repeat that in yoga you make everything healthier. You do not specifically always target just one thing. The whole body needs to be in cooperation. How deep is your breath? How much are you squeezing it out on the side bend? Stay with the sensation, the feeling of exactly what you are doing. Every movement creates a huge wave of body sensation. We pay attention to that. It actually feels very good. And if there's some areas or locations that don't feel good, there's a problem already developing there. So you keep doing the movement, easy going with the breath, and dissolve that sensation until everything becomes feeling pleasant. Relax back down. Again, adapt your seated position. You can be up on a block and a bolster or something. Make these comfortable. You're not supposed to be suffering. I mentioned enjoyment, and you need to make an enjoyable yoga sequence or routine. Your body enjoys what you're doing. Feel that enjoyment. In this position, bend further forward. You can move your knees and thighs out a little bit if you want. Hands go up to the outer edge of your mat, and then your hands come up onto fingertips. So effectively, we're pulling the arms up and away from us, opening up the shoulders and the upper chest, and we relax the head down, and it might come all the way down to your mat, maybe, depending on your flexibility. Now we bring the breath into the upper section. See if you can feel your shoulders kind of expanding apart with the in-breath and collapsing back in a little bit on the exhalation. Keep it going, maintain the position. When we come back up, actually stay there for another minute and feel that expansion, contraction. And let's just recall what I said in the previous class about inside there, just in your armpits, in the inner chest, and in the armpits themselves, you have a lot of lymph nodes, and these are the scanning areas of your autoimmune system, where the lymphatic fluid, which goes everywhere in your body, is coming back through, and from there back into the main circulation. It becomes part of the blood again. In these areas, anything that is not part of you, does not have your vibration, doesn't fit in with your cellular metabolic structure, they will be eliminated. There are white blood cells waiting there to do that, but they send signals out to the whole autoimmune system for any other help, assistance, and defense required. And we are empowered and designed to do all this without even thinking about it. But in many people, it's become a little bit deactivated. So what we are doing is reactivating this whole system. Feel that you are doing that for yourself. Every breath is bringing in more oxygen, more prana, enabling the system. Feel happy with yourself that you are doing this to activate the system. Trust in the many thousand-year-old method of yoga. The system knows how to do these things. When you're ready, let's come back up slowly to a seated position. As you're coming up to the top, a nice full breath, shoulders up and back. And let it out. Take another one with a little extra lift in the shoulders, all the way up. Lock in. Full breath, shoulders up. You lock it in, and then relax the shoulders down. But don't let the air out. If you feel a little dizzy doing this, that's fine. If you're uncomfortable with the dizziness, let it go. If you're okay with it, you can sit in through it as many times as you want. On the other side of it, it goes from dizziness to a light-headed feeling, and then to a euphoric feeling, and then on to higher states of consciousness. Pranayama yoga is one of the methods used to alter brain chemistry and elevate consciousness. If we're feeling negative doubts, worries, and fears, if we're feeling a little bit of depression, negativity, these breathing techniques can also easily change your state of mind. So feel free to use them anytime. Movement, breathing, retentions. Let's do a twist to the side. We're going to start with our inhalation in front and turn to the side. In breath forward. Exhale. Feel the twist. Your arms are used. Left hand goes across the right knee and it's pulling the shoulder forward. The other arm is on the floor behind me and it's pushing the other shoulder back. I'm feeling the twist as far as my body wants to go. In breath coming back, filling up. Exhale, other side. Every movement is good for you. You're not going to injure yourself by doing this a few more times. And all this expansion, contraction, the contraction that comes by squeezing everything on the twist really moves the fluid out of many areas. And when we come back straight, fresh fluid, lymphatic fluid and blood rush into the area with a good supply of oxygen. rejuvenation of all the cells comes from sufficient oxygen supply. 2 more times each side. Stopping center. Now feel upper chest. And we're going to do this rising and falling of the chest, simply using the breathing muscles. So get in touch with feeling those muscles. Many people are out of touch, and it's difficult to even do this. So we exaggerate it by lifting the shoulders, which takes the weight off, and psychologically takes the weight off your shoulders. There's a responsibility that gets kind of discharged when you do this simple breathing method with the upper section. So lifting the shoulders, dropping, exhale, let it go. If you have worry and fears, take in a breath, let it go. Take in another breath, inspiration, new idea, immunity. Let it go, let the disease go, let the fears go. Take in positive optimism. Now we do the same thing and we're going to lock it in. And after the lock, drop the shoulders. Relax chest and shoulders back down. Feel whatever sensation comes to your head. One of the things that happens to the mind sometimes when you do this is you feel a lot of sensation, energy movement, you get a little lightheaded, and you can almost forget what you were doing. And if you take it further, you can forget where you are until you let the breath go and come back, ground down a little bit. This state of consciousness that steps above memory, so you don't remember where you are. This same state of consciousness can make you forget about disease, viruses, whatever problems you have, psychological depression. Momentarily, you'll forget it. And in that time, a lot of healing can happen. So these breathing techniques have multiple levels of application, including the mental, the energetic. And in yoga, it's all working together to create powerful health, optimum health, peak performance for your autoimmune system. Now let's take this upper breath and make it happen a little bit faster. No retentions for the moment. We're just going in and out. And you're not exaggerating the shoulders, but just see if you can feel the actual breathing muscles that are connected to your clavicles, to your shoulders, and up into your neck, and they're lifting everything up. They're working. So you can feel them working by doing this. And by doing it many times, you become more aware of feeling these muscles. And this will make you more aware of your breathing all day long. In breath. Out. Now slow it down. Extend it into a deeper 3-part breath. Let that go. One more. Let it go. Squeeze it all out. One more. Lock it in. Relax on the lock. Doesn't have to be too long. If you're doing this well, you get to this lightheaded feeling fairly quick. Feel all body sensation, all mental rushes that may be happening. The feeling of the energy flowing becomes quite prominent in this state. You have no idea how much energy is running through your spine, connecting mind and body. 400 billion bits of information every second. We can feel that as energy. It's very blissful, actually. Okay, enough talk. Going to get a little bit more active. Going from action to stillness. Part of yoga practice. Back to our all fours, we're going to take the tiger into a prancing tiger. And that's done by taking the leg back and up. As we do this bend with the body, the leg joins, foot up. In breath, out breath. Feel the action, feel the flow of energy that we're creating by doing this. Come to a pause on all fours, and we switch over to the other side. Inhalation, bending the body down, head, tailbone, and leg go up. Exhale, swing under. Stop on all fours, take a breath, just blast it out. We're going to sit back down. Take your hands forward a little bit more first. Just a little further forward, and then we sit back down. So it feels like we're stretching back in the posture we were in a few minutes ago. Hands outstretched. But what we're going to do here is in breath to here. Continue the motion from the full breath to an exhale breath in this position. In breath comes back to all fours. Exhale back down. To make things more enjoyable, I usually do this to music, and we will be doing that in some of these classes. It becomes more like a dance, and in the Egyptian style of doing these same poses and breathings, they use music, and they did it as a dance. For now, we're doing it with a rhythm that is synchronizing the breath and the movement. So you're still getting a good back bend, a lot of movement of the whole circulation inside your body. I remind you the lymphatic system is circulated by us moving. It doesn't have a pump. It requires us breathing deep and moving. Let's stop on all fours. come up to a kneeling position. And we're going to take one leg, left leg out to the side. And we take in a breath here. And just with arms hanging, we bend over. Now feel the compression of your ribs on the one side, expansion on the other. Inhale, coming up. We are still working in this area of anahata, getting everything in here to move. So the same thing with your lymph nodes that are in here. They're being squeezed when you bend over to one side. All the lymphatic fluid is being pushed through them, and when we come back, a new surge of lymphatic fluid comes in, gets scanned, and moves back into the bloodstream. Now take your arm up and over. Inhale, exhale.
What's the breathing?
Inhale, exhale completely, going to the side. In breath, filling up here. And you can exhale, dropping the arm. Inhale, bringing it up. Next bend. One more time. Okay, we switch over to the other leg and go sideways on my mat. Beginning with the arms just hanging, it's a full inhalation. And bending over, exhaling. The hand can slide down the leg, slide back up with the in-breath. Feel the compression. Contemplate and feel the pressure inside on all the lymph nodes again. We are pumping the lymph nodes, really circulating the fluids through these lymph nodes, activating, scanning the body for anything. Now take your arm and inhale, coming up. Exhale, bend, arm goes over your head to the side. Inhale, exhale. In breath, out breath. Feel, without wandering away. Relax. Bring in your knee. Let's come back to a seated all fours position. Cross your one leg over the other. Welcome the sound of the cicada bugs. We usually have to come to a close at this time because the bugs get quite noisy and you can no longer hear us. And it's kind of an irritating sound for many people who are used to it. Between the cicada bugs and the tea-kettle bugs. Microphones just happen to love those sounds. Okay, let's come back into center. Sit in a comfortable position, maybe on your heels, cross-legged or whatever, on a chair if that's where you are. Now contemplate, if you have been doing this, these simple exercises with the breath for a week or more, you'll already be noticing that it actually feels very good. You might notice other things have improved in and around your mind, your body, and your life. So feel a sense of gratitude for everything you have in your life, including the breath, our most valuable gift. If anyone disagrees, send your breath over here. Give it up. Realize what we have to be grateful for. A human body, fully built, designed with all of these programs that do everything for us on the inside, while we wander around in nature and look at the beauty of the garden. This was how it was intended before jobs were created. So think about going back to a world with no jobs. Woo! Back to the garden. Right now, you can step out into nature anywhere you are. Appreciate the garden you have while you have the time. Doing the breathing exercises out in nature, in amongst trees and green plants. They are the ones that give us the oxygen. They take our carbon dioxide and they live on that, giving us back the oxygen. They keep the carbon and give us back the oxygen. So find a place in a park, go out for a hike through the forest. Breathe. Feel your symbiotic relationship with nature. By getting too far away from that, we get away from our natural health. Our health is connected with nature. And it gives us natural health, obviously. I would not recommend that you give up your natural health and then frequent drug stores. Feel some gratitude for your ability to breathe, to eat, to digest, to enjoy another day on our beautiful planet. Find some enjoyment in your day. That's it for now. Thanks for being here. Carry on.